Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Zack. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Zack.
Well, thank you.
Motorcycle, wrap a pretty little frame around a telephone pole, ride her off a mountain like old Harlow. Figure I'll buy me a motorcycle. Well, I figure I'll walk to the liquor store, Thunderbird, 2 bottles, maybe 3, maybe 4. Follow my feet down the music road. Pour it on the pavement like you would a tombstone. Like you would a tombstone. Like you would a tombstone. Pour it on the pavement like you would a tombstone. Figure I'm weary of feeling this way. Pop another pill, hop another train. Tell my brothers and my sisters that it's keeping me sane. Figure I'm weary of feeling this way. Well, I figure I'll buy me a motorcycle, wrap a pretty little frame around a telephone pole, ride her up a mountain like old Harlow. Figure I'll buy me a motorcycle. Figure I'll buy me a motorcycle. Figure I'll buy me a motorcycle.
Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
It's Friday, my dudes.
And happy Friday to you all. Welcome to the IRONWORX right here, freeworld.fm maybe. I don't know. I just saw a message pop up that makes me question whether or not that's actually the truth. But we are on YouTube, so on the ironrealmmedia podcast channel, so that works. Shout out to everybody there in the chats. And a big shout out to Mr. Zachary Zabala, to whom we dedicate actually those first 2 songs. First one was actually from Liz, who posted it. And then the second one was a Coulter Wall song called Motorcycle that just makes me think of Zack every time I hear
it. Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, 45.
Wow, you old fucker.
I know it. I just got these.
Happy Corporation Formation Day, my friend. Again, I know I already said it.
The best birthday present I've ever gotten.
Yeah, I heard. That's awesome.
South Carolina becomes the 29th state in nation with constitutional carry law.
That's awesome.
Nice. I had heard about it, but I had totally forgot that it was up for a vote and all that stuff, and the governor signed it yesterday. So it still doesn't say in here if it's like, he says he signed it into law, but I know a lot of times when they make new laws, it'll be like, I'm signing this now, but it doesn't go into effect until July 1st, or, you know, and it's not saying if this is like, I want to go put my 9 on my hip and go walk around. I haven't done that in a really, really long time. Since I was out in the desert, out in New Mexico, maybe Arizona. I think they're both constitutional carry out there. And then I hit it when I was in California. And man, driving through Illinois, I was so nervous. They had so many different rounds of ammunition that are illegal in Illinois. It's not like I have crazy things or anything. Illinois is just retarded. That's all it is. But yeah, that's awesome, man.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Congratulations to everybody here in this lovely state of South Carolina. 29 states. Yeah, Louisiana. Signed theirs in less than 24 hours after we did. So, Walter.
Kind of shocked.
You can carry a gun around now, too.
Right. Have my rifle slung across my shoulder today.
Well, that you could always carry.
No, I know. That's why I'm being stupid.
Isn't that any state, too, Josh? Every state, you can carry a long rifle? A shotgun?
I don't think so. Probably not. And fewer cities. Open carry is getting to be the big no-no these days. They're making everybody conceal it.
Which is crazy to me.
I mean, yeah, sure.
That was always the big thing. The cops wanted to know who had the guns. It was, you had to have a permit to conceal carry, but you could open carry freely in a lot of places. So that never made sense to me. It's like, why do you want people to conceal carry? Because people have their feelings. They get scared. But every point that we always bring up when we talk about guns is in this article. They're talking about, yeah, criminals don't follow the laws. When you tell them not to get a gun, that they're not allowed to have one, they don't listen. They're criminals. By definition, they don't follow the law. So, yeah, taking guns away from the good people only makes the criminals that much stronger. So yeah, I think everybody should have a gun, or at least the ability to have a gun. And I bet you gun crime, or even gun crimes, I bet go down. You always hear from all these gun, people who are trying to remove all the guns. That, now gun crime is going to go on the rise. Go look and see where most gun crimes occur. I mean, anybody can do it. The numbers are there. They're in gun-free zones. That's where you have your most gun violence. Another thing, pretty much usually by nature, most criminals are cowards. They see people with guns on their hips in this building over here with a sign that says no guns. Who do you think they're going to go and try to rob? It's not rocket science. Yeah, I never got the whole, argument from the other side about why people shouldn't have guns. We start going down that road, and then eventually it's like, oh, everybody just walks around with a
The
sport
TV
now.
told them that if it was that way, then everything would be fucking rainbows and unicorn parts, I guess, and that's what they believe because that's what the TV told them. Because anybody with any fucking sense would think it through. As you said, only criminals. I mean, criminals aren't going to listen. Only the law-abiding citizens would be the ones who would go, oh, goodness, we can't have this thing. Here you go, Mr. Government Dude. Take that in your big bag. And, oh, wait, who's this knocking on my door next? Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Have you guys ever seen one of those Rivian cars?
Is that one of those with the fine Corinthian leather? No, I don't know.
It's an electric vehicle. And I don't even think they have a key for this car. It's like you run everything with your app, through an app on your phone.
Sounds suspect as hell.
Yeah. And they were going to build a new plant in Georgia. There's pausing construction on their plant in Georgia, though. $5 billion plant. Jeez, Pete. $5 billion? Wow. That's crazy. I really don't want to get too much into this article. Yeah, those Rivians, though. I've never even seen one on the road. I think the only place I saw one is in a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. It's actually the very last episode that they put out. And Dennis is taking a, what do they call them? Not like a sick day, it's a mental health day. I guess that's a new thing now. People are taking mental health days at work now. And he took one, and he went and he had to rent a car, and he rented that car, and he didn't have a key with it, so he had to download another app on his phone.
Good morning.
And he was so sick of the apps on his phone. And then he lost his phone, of course. And then he gets pulled over by a cop, and he makes him get out of the car. And as soon as he gets out, the car rolls its window up and shuts off. Oh, I just got a message. Says, look and see who inherited the Rothschild fortune. I just know it wasn't me. So NASA is concerned as Voyager 1 is sending back incomprehensible code now. It basically stopped talking to us in a coherent manner. And then it says senile probe. There's a couple jokes in there, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
Says NASA's 2 Voyager spacecraft have spent almost half a century traveling through distant space. The probes, which launched less than a month apart in the summer of 1977, have survived a lot, from dwindling power supplies and grimy thrusters to near-fatal software glitches. Voyager 1 in particular, which is currently floating past the generally defined edge of the solar system some 15 billion miles away, is looking worse for wear these days. Right, like you could
say that number one more time for us all.
15 billion miles away.
Okay.
With a B. Right. Right. Okay, so this is, most recently, scientists became worried after the lonely probe started sending nonsensical messages back to Earth, as if its senility was catching up with it. No, the person sending you the code was drunk, and they were fucking with you. It basically stopped talking to us in a coherent manner. Voyager project manager Suzanne Dodd told NPR. It's a serious problem. Incoherent rambling usually is. Instead of beaming back binary code over billions of miles, Voyager 1 is sending ones and zeros that just alternate. Efforts to reset the aging probe have failed so far, but that shouldn't come as a surprise considering the technology dates back to the mid-70s. You mean the technology that could get us to the moon? That we can't make today happen? The button you press to open the door of your car, that has more computer power than the Voyager spacecrafts do. It's remarkable that they keep flying and that they've flown for 46 plus years. Goodness. And I think they're tired of me making fun of them because they're not letting me scroll anymore. Oh, come on.
So here's what happened, I think. She, whatever we call it, they, I guess, since we're politically correct here at the Iron Realm, if anyone is, they got to the edges, known, whatever, universe, if that's what they want to call it. And so right there is where the code stops being sensible code and becomes just random ones and zeros. The cloud of possibility, if you will. We haven't expanded our human consciousness quite big enough to reach outside to, like, what was it, 800 billion miles away. So that part of the universe is currently not coded correctly. Get on the job, fuckers. Fucking get those ones and zeros right. Oh my. Yes, Sherry, I know your pronoun is chocolate. If anybody would know, we would know here.
You know,
who was just talking about this yesterday, day before? Oh, it was a robot polisher video. And they were talking about this, the failures of this whole thing, and, you know, how much of a success this would have been in the Apollo era and all these different things. And at the end, the dude's like, you know, why would they do that? You go all that way. And then the guy, whoever it is, maybe even him, I'm not sure who it is at the end of the video, says that's why, because it's brilliant script writing. What I was saying the other day, that this is all part of the ploy to go, well, they wouldn't fake it and then break it. Well, you're convinced it's real, so I guess they did the right fucking thing, didn't they?
Yeah, wasn't that a thing in the Matrix? When everything works out perfect, humans don't like that.
Right.
So yeah, if they were to just say, oh, everything works perfectly all the time, always, yeah, people would be like, no, this isn't real. But it's those little errors and mishaps that just make it seem real. I was watching, have you guys seen this guy, this person, Robot Polisher? I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, his channel.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I had cut out there for a sec. Yeah, awesome channel. But he was doing the whole, it would cost more to fake it than to actually do it. And there's just people looking at him like, it was like reactions of people like, what? Please explain that to me. How is it going to cost more to fake it? You know, you've seen a movie before, right? You know, like they make movies and so, oh yeah, it's just the paperwork alone, Bill Nye. So they're thinking that it's busting. They always said, 50 years or bust, but it looks like bust is going to happen before the 50-year mark. So NASA's sad. Everything's just turning up roses today, huh?
So yesterday, I'm sorry, Josh.
I'm just saying it's a banner day for you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So yesterday I passed through the living room. I was watching Shark Tank. These are old ones. You probably all have seen this. I did not. Had not seen it. Apparently, these two guys showed up, and their pitch was these new types of tires based on NASA proprietary bullshit. Remember the story I dropped? I don't think we talked about it, but if you've looked through the pile, I dropped a story about these very tires a few weeks back, probably a month ago. They're the special metal, looks like chainmail essentially formed into a tire is what it looks like. I'm trying to find the story so I can show you the tire. Anyway, so they essentially had rented the technology from NASA and were paying NASA for this shit. I'm like, doesn't that belong to us?
Yeah.
Isn't that our fucking shit that we paid for? And now you're trying to pay for it again. Why would you do that? Anyway, the whole thing failed. They didn't get a shark because they're trying to coat these metal tires with rubber for cars. And, there's nobody that can really figure that out just yet. And blah, blah, blah. Wow, where is the story at? It's apparently way back there. I don't see it anywhere. I'll look them up. You'll know what I mean in a second.
I thought about this over time, multiple different times. Like the idea that our tires are rubber, but the roads are, I don't know. It just seems like there would be a better mix.
Yeah, you would think, okay, here we go. These tires. These chainmail NASA tires. They're using that rented technology that's what they're paying NASA, whatever, I don't know what the word is anymore, for use of this, that they're going to then create these new bicycle tires and truck tires and all this shit coated with rubber. And I'm just like, how the fuck can NASA even do that? How can they take a thing that we paid for with our tax dollars and then make more money off of it? Anyway, I'll stop bitching. I won't, but I'll stop for this moment.
It looks like the new basketballs. I don't know who invented it. Maybe Wilson. I don't want to say.
I saw that was the thing going by too, and haven't looked into it because I'm not really into sports balls. But I did see. Oh, that might be the dudes right there. Anyway, but I did see that there was some kind of
nothing you're going to see
pickleball looking basketball or whatever.
Yeah, you won't see one out on the playground anytime soon. I don't think they're like $2,500 for a frickin' basketball.
Right. Well, that's what these guys were shooting for. A tire set for a car that would run you about $20,000, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's no air involved or anything. Blah 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 blah. And this basketball, it made no noise when you bounced it. It was so weird. It bounced just as high as a regular ball and everything. No air in it, but it has a bunch of little holes in it. You could see right through it. So I guarantee wind is going to play a factor. You can't play outdoor ball with that thing. And then playing outdoors, little rocks and pebbles and whatnot, it would just seem that thing's going to get loaded with all kinds of stuff inside of it. But yeah, $2,500 for a basketball. No thanks. I'll be all right. Yeah, when I heard the guy bounce it though, that like blew my mind because it made like zero noise. I haven't shot a basketball in quite a while.
No, I haven't either. I used to play around too. I'm not lying, but yeah, I haven't in a few years. Played with the grandkids here and there, but they're not, playing horse and stuff. They're not really into the game itself.
Yeah, I haven't played basketball. Jeez, it's probably been over 10 years. Probably over, I don't know. I was in my early 30s when I quit going and playing every weekend. Once I started gardening, didn't have time for the basketball no more.
Right.
NASA's got a bunch of small moon-bound rovers ready to roll, it says.
Do they have an accelerometer in them so they know which way it's up?
Yeah, right.
Are there cameras on them?
There is no up in space.
Okay, listen to this. This is from PCGamer.com. EA, which is Electronic Arts, I believe.
It is indeed.
EA Sports. It's in the game. That's who EA is. They made John Madden and all these games, sport game. So the EA CEO talks AI.
I knew you were going to this article.
Says the usual stuff before the bong rip hits, and he starts blabbing about a future where 3 billion people are creating EA's games with it. Wow. So are they going to allow people to start messing around with the game, kind of like Fortnite does? Okay, it says it's 2024 and anyone is thinking about how to get AI to do the heavy lifting for them. Among that number, EA CEO Andrew Wilson, who recently had a natter? What's a natter? Natter?
Nothing. What's the matter with you?
So this guy apparently had a natter with Morgan Stanley about his vision for AI and how it could impact EA's development processes in the years to come. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. Okay, who wrote this? This is weird.
Apparently, natter means to talk casually in some country that we don't live in.
Okay. We had a little natter.
Natter, short for talk.
Yeah. Asked how EA was using AI, Wilson rhapsodized about the company.
EAIOE?
Yeah, I know.
Wait, who's the boss?
I think it's old MacDonald.
Oh, did you hear who was the lead or the headliner at the Bohemian Grove this year?
Tony? Who?
Tony Danza.
No.
Chris Rock, or not Chris Rock, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock, I think it was old. He was reciting because the story was old.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about when he went, which was a long time ago.
Oh, I thought that was recently.
No, that was the way I understand it is he had been invited and went to Bohemian Grove a long time ago. And that's when Tony Danza was the keynote speaker. So to speak.
And if anybody comes across as elite and above station of anybody else, higher level of awareness or intelligence, it's definitely Tony Danza.
Yeah. AI.
Hey, Angela. Ooh. I wonder if him and Sylvester Stallone have any relation. Kind of talk alike. Well, we are.
I knew chat would be all over it. They're telling us all about what nattering is. I had to get back and see. I knew they'd be on it. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Jack.
It is that time, as Zach mentioned.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to take a little break. And we will be back.
Great. I'm so excited.
Right
Guys,
after.
if you don't know, 21 Pilots are back. Oh, my God.
Are my stripes 300 tracks and my Adidas track jacket? Bless your ear holes while you react acting. Gobsmacked, don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. I feel like I was just here saying, twitching in my eyes. Don't sleep on a boy who can fall asleep twice in the same night and won't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. I said I fly by the dangerous bend symbol. Don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. And then by the time I catch in my peripheral, don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. Where I'm from, I was born right here, just now, originated right in front of your eyes. If you can't see, I am Clancy, prodigal son, done running, come up with Josh done, wanted dead or alive. So now you pick who you serve. You bow to the masses, get kicked to the curb. For passing the classes, half empty, half full, save half of your taxes, then overtake your former self. I fly by the dangerous band symbol. Don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. And then by the time I catch in my peripheral, don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. This feel like a perfect length, I don't need them any longer. But for goodness sake, the years seem way too short for my soul, call the song. Way too short for my soul, call the song. This feel like a perfect length, I don't need them any longer. But for goodness sake, the years seem way too short for my soul, call the song. Way too short for my soul, call the song. Earn my stripes, 300 tracks in my Adidas track jacket. Bless your ear holes while you react acting. Gobsmacked, don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. I said I fly by the dangerous band symbol. Don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate. And by the time I catch in my peripheral, don't hesitate to maybe overcompensate.
From their upcoming album, I Am Clancy. It's 21 Pilots. If you're keeping up with the lore, yeah, there's crazy shit going on right now. Folks are getting letters from Dima in the mail, physical envelopes.
From who?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I've been into 21 Pilots since Blurryface came out. My son actually was singing Car Radio, which was off of Vessel, in karaoke 100 years ago one night. Everybody like freaked out. I broke into tears from what he was putting out, the emotions. Immediately, I was like, dude, who is that? And what is that song? And turned me on to it because I knew it was something new I'd never heard. So we went home and watched that video. If you've never seen the video or heard Car Radio, go do that now, or after the show, I guess. And like was like just blown away, just the emotion, what the lyrics were about. And then Blurryface came out, and at the time it was the beginning of Flat Earth's uncovering and every other thing that uncovered, you know, who's ruling us, what runs among us, the hidden stuff behind the music industry. And every song seemed to be talking about fighting the demons at night, and the fact that they were performing these songs at the behest of these overlords who were making them do it because that was what they were for, to entertain and distract. But here's the real secrets behind it all. And it's like every album has lore and stuff about this group of overruler people, these like, what are they called? Damn it. They're like religious leaders, and what they do is they can inhabit a dead body and use it as a vessel. Once the actual soul leaves it, they can then use it as like an automaton. And yeah, there's a whole lot of crazy shit that kind of ties into a lot of the crap we fight here on the realm on a daily basis. So that's why it always touched me deep. I did lose a little touch during their Icy and Scaly album because it was a lot more going on in the world. But playing catch up, I liked it a lot. And then when this stuff hit a few days ago on the 29th, that's when this song hit. It was just, they had dropped a video right before that explaining all the lore that I had missed during the album. And I used to love this with albums. Like, that was my thing with, like, I mean, the Pink Floyd The Wall. I would spend 20 hours a day just looking at that cover, trying to decode all the crap in it. I mean, the Tommy story from The Who. Any album that had more than just songs, there was something going on, secret shit. Like, yeah, I was always into that. It seems like Styx may have had Cornerstone had a lot of weird imagery and hidden, secret decoding stuff. So anyway, I'll stop ranting. Check it out.
The whole album, wasn't it like a rock?
Oh yeah, it was a concept album. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Who were something different. They were. That's probably one of my favorite British bands, The Who. They were just different. So, this is a guy, Business Insider. Now, remember we just read an article about the Voyager, and it's sending back nothing but ones and zeros, alternating now. It's freaking out. According to this guy, the Voyager spacecraft will probably last 1 billion years, says a scientist on the mission for nearly 5 decades. Boom, boom, ba-doom. Alan Cummings has worked on the Voyager mission for over 50 years. Since their launch, the 2 Voyager spacecraft have made breakthrough discoveries that keep Cummings engaged. Cummings thinks they will continue traveling for 1 billion years. Best and brightest, folks. I'm sorry. Anybody who thinks anything that a man has made is going to last 1 billion years. Do you know how nonsensically stupid that sounds? 1 billion?
I do.
Thank you, Josh. Because our skyscrapers, they say, are going to last like, 250, 300 years maybe? If we didn't take care of them, they'd eventually just crumble and fall, like everything. The Hoover Dam, they said it may last like 500 years.
I bet you none of it would last 100.
I agree with you. I don't think it would either. I think nature would destroy it way before 250 years.
Wonder if there's anything out in space that might be of a danger. There's other things out there in space.
Oh yeah, don't they just say space is like one of the most dangerous environments with asteroids and meteors and comets flying by and this and that and whooshing?
Fucking space rocks ripping through fucking space, man.
Exactly. But they're going to last 1 billion years, according to this. Oh, he looks like a NASA scientist.
It's going to be the new insult. Well, fuck you. You look like a NASA scientist.
That's a good one. I start using that.
Jesus, what do you work for NASA? Get your head out of your ass.
It says Cummings has seen the program dwindle from over 300 people to fewer than a dozen. So Voyager 1 and 2 have traveled over 10 billion miles into space now. Wasn't it just 1 billion before? Or no, it was. Okay.
It was 15.
15 billion,
yes, sir. That shows how much earlier this article was written. Just extrapolate the math. Facts.
And photos. I didn't know Voyager took photos.
Where do you think the blue dot came from?
Really? I thought that was something we sent just to go around Saturn.
That was only at 1,000,000 miles. Now extrapolate that math. Pale blue dot was 1,000,000 miles away. It's now 15 billion miles away. Okay, sure.
I'm right. That was Voyager 1, right? Not 2. Yeah, Voyager 1. I'm just making sure I wasn't wrong because I know you're right. It could have been one of the other ones, Zack. But no, that was it.
Well, this guy's not
Makes
totally
us feel
retarded.
small and insignificant, doesn't it? Oh, it's awesome.
I'd love to
Idiots.
calculate the speed. So that probably would have been what, like 74 maybe? Pale blue dot? 75, 76? I think it's around there. At 1,000,000 miles. So in 50 years, it's now at 15 billion miles. That's got to be just, trucking. But whatever.
Yeah, it took the pale blue dot. That was its last photo. It snapped over 67,000 images of the solar system. The final of which was the pale blue dot photo, made famous by Carl Sagan, who said...
Wait, I just realized, what year did you say that might have been, Zack? I mean, Josh?
I was guessing anytime before 77. My guess was between like 72 and 76.
Photograph of Earth was taken February 14th, 1990. At a distance of 3.7 billion miles from the sun.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Carl Sagan dead before 1990?
That's what I'm reading right here on nasascience.fucking.gov.
But for real though, didn't Sagan die I didn't think he was still alive in 1990. Hold on, we got to get to the bottom of this now. What's going on here? Did NASA make a snafu? Or is it Mandela and Carl Sagan is still alive?
He died 6 years later.
Okay, 96. Billions.
I would have said it was in the 80s, actually, Josh, so you don't feel too bad. I really was thinking 80s when you said 70s. I'm like, that wouldn't have been a little too early. It would have had to get out there, allegedly. And it didn't launch till like 74, 76? I don't know. Shit, there's too much to look at on the internet now.
So it was how far from the sun?
3.7 billion miles.
And how far away from Earth?
3.6 billion miles. That's some good Wi-Fi right there. Yeah, and when you go and actually break down, I remember Bob broke this down, and just how nonsensical, like the background radiation we measure is stronger than the signal we would be getting from this craft. There is no way to pick it up and read it. It's like turning on the television back in the day without your
with all the static,
and you just get snow. Didn't matter what channel you turn it to, it'd just be snow because you don't have the antenna capabilities to be picking up, that teeny tiny signal that's there. Both Voyagers were initially planned as 5-year missions. Wow, I didn't know that. A remarkable engineering team has kept this thing going. Really? Wait, you went up there and fixed it when it broke?
No, they're the ones having freaky sex in the pentagram, trying to make sure that all their satanic overlords are pleased.
They've had to shut down different instruments to keep them going and the data coming in. And they're running low on fuel. Okay, if you planned it for 5 years, why would you give it enough fuel to go 50?
Got to over-engineer it, don't you know? Got to give the taxpayers what they pay for.
That's like 10 extra years. Or
like that's like 45.
The amount of fuel that you would have needed to complete your mission.
Well, it's a good thing getting weight from Earth to outer space is completely free and easy. That way you can put as much payload as you want on these rockets. Doesn't matter. Fuck, send 10 times as much fuel as you need. Fuck it. Be all right.
Cummings says, once the Voyagers lose power and communication, they'll continue traveling. I think it's going to go for 1 billion years, he said. There's nothing to stop it. Now, wait a minute. I thought space was dangerous. With all this stuff whizzing around and flying all over and black holes and gravitational lensing and spaghettification. Nom, nom, nom.
Beat me to it, fuck.
All you can eat breadsticks? What the hell?
Before Voyager, Cummings was part of an experiment to measure cosmic rays using a balloon. Well, that's a pretty good upgrade from balloons to Voyager. And then it goes on to him releasing balloons up in Canada. But during its last flight, it ended up in Russia instead. Boom, 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 boom. And then they sent him to go get the balloon. Really, NASA?
You go get that right now.
Yeah. The nerdy scientist who built it, you're really going to make him go find it in Russia? Don't we have like a military or like somebody closer to Russia than that guy? You couldn't just call on the phone and be like, hey, can you go pick this thing up? It's in your backyard. I don't know. So this guy's, man, a whole life. Almost 5 decades this guy has been working on Voyager. He's a team of less than 12 people.
I mean, you only need 4 for an orgy.
What do you do all day?
I thought I explained this, Zach. Jesus Christ. What do I need to draw pictures?
It's just you're getting ones and zeros back now. It's time to shut it down. You're no longer needed.
To be fair.
That's
all they were getting back to begin with. They just don't like the order now. What is all this ones and zeros they're sending us? I'm just a computer programmer. What do I do with ones and zeros?
Oh. Whoa, they got some huge robot ships now. Huge remote-controlled vessels are setting sail.
I mean, they don't even have a digestive system, let alone a requirement to take a big robot ship.
So they're rapidly going into service around the world. This article from the BBC says it sounds like science fiction. Ocean-going ships with no one on board. But this vision of the future is coming, and sooner than you might think. So what would be the reason, could you guys think, to send this boat out with nobody on it?
Pirate bait.
What?
I said pirate bait.
That's the only thing I was thinking of. Because you don't ship goods when they have the big giant ships with people with guns on them. Pirates still attack them. So I can't see just sending this thing out for, like shipping something across the ocean. I don't think that would be wise. So what would you think they would use this for? Any ideas? I have no idea. It's a big boat too. These things are huge.
How do you catch a pirate?
Little bait.
Little bait. I mean, I don't know what the fuck else you do it for. Obviously, you're not going to put $3 billion worth of goods on an unmanned vessel, kick it out into the water, be like, all right, good luck. Hopefully we'll see you on the other side. I don't know. And you're not definitely not going to do that with people on board.
Yeah. So it says they have
empty
cameras, microphones, radars, GPS, and all manner of satellite communications. Company called Ocean Infinity. It's a US-UK company.
Gotcha. So what you do is you head on up to Alaska, you see, and you find yourself a great big antenna array, and then you just break it up, and you give each boat part of that antenna array, and then you can just float these boats all around the ocean. And now you've got a great big antenna array. Exponentially larger than the one in Canada.
Nice.
Maybe you can superheat the stratosphere if you so desired.
So it looks like they're going to be using an armada. They're a fleet of eventually
your model
23 vessels.
Not my model.
And it says that these vessels are going to survey the seabed for offshore wind farm operators and check underwater infrastructure for the oil and gas industry. I could see that as being a thing, just going out to search the ocean floor.
Mm-hmm. And with these real basic, simple electronics that will never need repair along those nice, smooth, calm waters that are just notorious for all of the oceans. So, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Was it going to run aground, break its leg, not deploy any of its cameras or any of its scientific equipment, and then have the battery die after a fucking week? Yay!
So they were a little bit, I guess you could say they kind of lied at the beginning, saying that you're going to find this boat with nobody on board. Well, the ship, I should say, 255 feet long, 78 meters. And there will be 16 people on board each vessel. A traditional ship carrying out the same kind of work would need a crew of 40 or 50, though. And they believe they can reduce the number still further. That's because many of the roles can be done hundreds of miles away on land. Now, wouldn't that be annoying? You got somebody you're out on the boat doing the stuff, and there's somebody on land sitting there saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Hey, this is like this. And you're like, no, it isn't. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's not like that. Well, yeah, it is, because my computer says it is. This just sounds like a big old cluster schnock. Wind-powered cargo ships.
Oh, now that's a scientific advancement.
Yeah, didn't we go away from wind power a long time ago?
What we need is some way to heat up water. And we'll just utilize the steam. That'll teach them.
Are we going to go back to horse and buggy next? Will that be our next?
Hey, you built some mighty fucking cities in horse and buggy, buddy.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood.
Right. Back to paddle boats. Or in Branson, next to the mini golf course, you'd have a big pool and we'd have pedal boats. and you can fit 2 or 4 people, and you just have to crank on the wheels like a bicycle, and they'd turn a little paddle underneath the boat, and you could drive it and steer it, and you just kind of bumper boat style.
Yeah, this just makes me think that pirates are going to see these things and be like, yep, let's go get it. There's only 16 people on that boat. I wonder if these things have any type of defense to help defend against stuff like that. Because believe it or not, folks, I don't know if you're aware, pirates are real. They might have an eye patch. You never know. Not a requirement. I doubt there's many out there with peg legs still. Maybe there are. Who knows? But no, pirates are real. The real thing. They go out
You sound like a piratist. I'm just saying.
They take, booty.
Yeah, they do.
Oh. Now, see, I've heard all different kinds of things. I've heard it's people defending their coastline because people come and dump their waste off certain coastlines. Somalia was one of the places. And so these people weren't actually going out to, just rape and pillage and plunder. They were going out there to say, hey, stop dumping your toxic waste off of our coastline. But I don't know. You hear stories. You see things. I'll never know for sure. But pirates be real, laddie. We still get pirates here in the United States? I'm sure we have to. Once you get off the coast far enough.
Off the coast far enough? Are you still in the United States?
Well, you know what I mean. Just,
off our coast.
That's international waters, baby. You can go out there and have all the pentagram sex orgies you want.
So we are almost up to the next break.
We certainly are.
Real close.
That we are. Just a couple of minutes away. And I
know we've heard it before, but it's been a minute. Can we hear Country Boy Can't Survive?
Absolutely.
I love that song. That's
wait, it's not your fucking birthday. Oh, wait.
Try it. Which means we're going to push Aerosmith, Kings and Queens, back to the last song. I had a request there in paper. No, it's all right. Patreon had a request. I'm the put one in there.
I was supposed to tell you that earlier.
7 in
too,
there.
that there were, lots of requests in Patreon. Sorry, I saw it, but I got sidetracked.
Nope, but I just grabbed the most recent. Don't mind me. I just got to pull it up now.
All this talk about boats and sailing and Big Pine I'm not seeing him in the chat. I thought he'd be letting us know all about the pirates and the booty out there. Thank you all so much for all the birthday wishes. You guys are awesome. $45.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're there already, aren't we? Good thing I got to.
When I grow up, I want to get me an electric guitar.
When I grow up, I want to be a motherfucking pimp. Anyway, we'll be back right after Little Bocephus.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry. The interest is up and the stock market's down, and you're only getting mugged if you go downtown. I live back in the woods, you see, a woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow a field all day long. I can catch catfish from dusk till dawn. Make our own whiskey and our own smoke too. Ain't too many things these old boys can't do. We grow good old tomatoes and homemade wine, and country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Because you can't starve us out and you can't make us run. Those when them old boys raised on shotgun. We say grace and we say ma'am. If you ain't into that, we don't give a damn. We came from the West Virginia coal mines and the Rocky Mountains and the western skies. And we can skin a buck, we can run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I had a good friend in New York City. He never called me by my name, just Hillbilly. My grandpa taught me how to live off the land, and his taught him to be a businessman. He used to send me pictures of the Broadway nights, and I'd send him some homemade wine. But he was killed by a man with a switchblade knife. For $43, my friend lost his life. I'd love to spit some beach nut in that dude's eyes and shoot him with my old 45, cause a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Cause you can't stop us out and you can't make us run, cause when them old boys raised on shotgun, we say grace and we say ma'am. If you ain't into that, we don't give a damn. We're from North California and South Alabama and little towns all around this land. We can skin a buck and run a trot line, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. Country boy can survive. Country folks can survive.
Auto insurance all seems the same.
And welcome back.
Jax, that is Country Boy Can Survive by Hank Williams Jr. Yeah. Love that song.
Not as real.
That was one of those songs that my grandpa used to play. My cousin's grandpa, but I still called him grandpa. Yeah, that was like one of his favorite songs. Man, that takes me back. Thank you.
Not his real name, by the way.
Grandpa? No, I know. It was Alfred.
Hank.
Oh.
Hank Williams Jr. Yeah, not really a Hank Williams Jr.
Is Hank
Did I
Williams?
hear it was
Hank Williams?
somebody's birthday?
Oh.
Is it somebody's birthday?
I know what time it is.
A one.
Hey there.
Two. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Good times for all. Happy birthday. You.
Oh, thank you, Travis.
You're the first one that started that, man. I loved you so much I wanted to sing happy birthday to you.
And you've done it every year since.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
Whether you liked it or not.
I know last year, I think you did it on like a message. You sent me a Skype.
Yeah.
That was last year, yeah.
All right, well, I'm getting ready for work, so I'm going to jump back off. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Well, thank you. Thank you there, Trav. Much love, man. From the happy birthday, Mr. President. Good stuff.
See, I'm kind of surprised we're still on the air because we're not on freeworld.fm. I don't know what in the world's going on. I've got some password that's not going to allow me to connect. So I don't know if anybody's going to be live or this is just their less than subtle way of telling me they don't want us on the air at freeworld.fm anymore. I don't know. I've not spoken to Billy Ray or heard much out of Billy Ray in quite some time. Not necessarily his fault. I think he was the last one to reach out to me, and I just have not responded in all that time. I don't know. So we're basically just playing music on YouTube, which is the worst thing you could think to do at the worst place you could think to do it. Like I said,
I didn't think about that part. I forgot we weren't on Free World.
Big shout out to Bad Fish Bear there in chat. Good to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, man?
And I Heart Winston, by the way.
Wow. So Tesla and SpaceX's Bitcoin addresses are holding nearly 20,000 Bitcoins.
Each or combined?
I think combined.
What's 20 times 60? I think that's where it is now. I think about $60,000 a coin.
Yeah, I know it's going up again. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people calling for it for the last month or so, and Bitcoin's getting ready to do another spike.
Yeah, you know, it was like 3 years ago when I was still driving truck. There was a guy that I was training, and he was into Bitcoin, and so he was preaching my ear off about Bitcoin. And so I'm like, well, which ones would you invest in? And so he was giving me some pointers or whatever. So then I went and jumped on some stuff. So then I spent like $300 or whatever and just diversified with a few different ones. And like in 3 years, it tanked down to like I had like $10. You know what I mean? Like out of the 300 I had bought, it was down to 10. And now it's been shooting back up. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave it in there. You know what? Who knows? In 10 years, I could have like trillions of dollars. Who knows?
Isn't it? You never know. I mean, people were buying pizzas and pot and beer with Bitcoin, you know, and now that same Bitcoin's worth 60 grand. That's crazy.
really is.
Yeah, I am not a crypto advisor or anything like that. I know next to nothing about any of that world. Kind of reminds me of the stock market.
Yep.
Certain people making money while others are losing their money.
Just like every fucking thing else in this world. 0.5% of the people doing that job are going to actually excel and thrive. And they're going to use that 0.5% as an example of what the other 99.95% of the people trying it will achieve, but none of them ever will. That's how multi-level marketing schemes can thrive.
Multi-tiered.
Oh.
Invigoron. Yep. I don't know, are those still
I'd buy that for $1.
Are those things still around, like the
Amway? Yep.
Perfume type places where they have people selling perfume door to door, and then I used to see ads all the time back in the day in the Help Wanted. No experience.
I know they set up at the local festivals here because that's where I have to do the big arc around that area of the festival.
Yeah.
I don't go anywhere near it so that I don't go into some kind of anaphylactic shock. It's already bad enough just walking down a grocery store aisle. So I don't know if it was the masking that broke everybody else's nose, or they just got so used to bathing in cologne, perfume, and other odorous crap that, if I'm following you and I can taste what you have on your flesh, then you've got fucking problems, and they aren't odor related.
Maybe they're all victims of some sort of large-scale neurological attack on people's senses, whereupon they no longer have the ability to smell or taste. Now it doesn't matter. Maybe it's all just a big conspiracy for
I've got it covered
knockoff
for 'em, 'cause
colognes.
I'm smelling it and fucking tasting it. I'm sorry, I was excited to say that stupid line.
Yep. The brainwashing of the sales world is most evident in the knockoff eau de toilette sales business model. All you got to do is brainwash them enough and to think they're going to actually succeed. Look, you just do what I say and you'll be as successful as I will. You just got to put in the work.
Yarn art, boys. It sells itself.
Oh, yeah. Liz says, remember, in all the UK, Ironworks will be earlier for the next 3 weeks whilst we deal with lunacy, idiocy, moronacy.
Also known as daylight savings. So, Walter, did you see this? GamingBible.com says Red Dead Redemption 2 free update adds new content for March.
I did see that story, but as I began to read it, they started talking about mods, so I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's an actual update or just a mod update.
Yeah, I don't do all the whole modding thing and all that kind of stuff.
They've got the modern mod.
I mean, I get it. It's the only way to get any new content in Red Dead is that way. So I get why they're doing it. But yeah, I've read too many bad things about doing it to want to mess up my system and my computer and all that. So
I heard there's a really cool mod.
I will not do it.
Updates Red Dead 2 to like present tense and it's set out there on the West Coast somewhere. And you can run around and interact and do jobs and do shit like that. I heard it's really fun.
It's all about the West Coast?
Uh-huh. Like in California, they got strip clubs. It's a whole thing.
That sounds wild.
I will not have you besmirch the name of Rockstar. Fuckers. I haven't played Red Dead in a day or two, though, because I've gotten a new thing going with my son. Finally convinced me to do it. And then now last night, he and my brother and one of his friends did a little squad on Hell Divers 2. I probably told y'all about it, but yeah, if you enjoyed the humor behind Paul Verhoeven's movie Starship Troopers, if you got that humor and understood it, then you would love this game. It is hilarious. I've been dispensing managed democracy across the universe.
Oh, this one's from the HollywoodReporter.com. I guess all the famous Hollywood people aren't getting enough recognition right now. They're not getting enough. They can't smell their own farts anymore for some reason. So
it's as if they were attacked by some sort of biological, neurological thing that's going to take away their sense of smell and taste.
I think this more has to do with their feelings, and they're slowly dwindling away into
their sense of touch. You mean?
No, it's more like nobody cares about them anymore, and most of these new actors and actresses that have been out for like a decade, nobody knows their name still because people don't care about movies anymore. They pushed all this woke nonsense in so many movies that it's turned people off. People are going to places like YouTube and TikTok and places like that for their entertainment now, for their news, for their sports, for everything. They don't need these people anymore, and they feel they're being left out. They like to feel important. And it's not just the money and the big houses and all that. They need the fame. If they don't have the fame, then they don't have that little thing to fill that huge, giant void in their lives because of the choices they made in their job career and the things they probably had to do to become that. So they're all getting together. Remember We Are the World? And they all did that. Now they're doing another one, but this is to make nukes history. They signed an open letter ahead of the Oscars to make nukes history. Now, their last campaign, well, wasn't it to like end world hunger or whatever? Wasn't what that We Are the World was all about? I don't even know. That was early in my life. That was what, early 80s?
Yeah, it was for farmers or something.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Okay, so We Are the World came after. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to call Willie Nelson and tell him what you said.
I was going to say they were opening act for Willie Nelson. I'm sure of it.
So Matthew Modine, every person should be educated about the incredible destructive power of nuclear weapons. Understanding the threat eliminates a necessary path for their elimination.
Okay, let's just say for half a second that you could film an atomic blast without melting the camera. Let's just say that. And let's just say that for a second, anyway, that the image they use at the Hiroshima Museum as you walk in to terrify you is an image of a firebombing, not a fucking atomic blast. But let's just say all that's real. Let's just say. So their plan is to put them all in a big pile and burn them. maybe they'll shoot them at the sun. Is that it? Is that their plan? I'm just wondering what they're getting rid of the nukes, history of the nukes, or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. What's their plan? I have to hear it. Sorry, I probably interrupted you right before you got to the good part.
Let's see, what do they want to do with them? So hundreds of thousands of Americans have been directly harmed by radioactive fallout from the hundreds of nuclear explosions conducted on U.S. soil. From the moment of the first atomic bomb.
Wait, read that again? What happened the fuck? The who do we?
I don't know. It says hundreds of thousands of Americans have been directly harmed by the radioactive fallout from the hundreds of nuclear explosions conducted on U.S. soil.
I saw those people with 3 arms out in Arizona. I'm just trying to make sure what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Nevada, Arizona. Didn't they make a movie called Wrong Turn or something like that about this?
The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes. That's it. Yeah.
Then they remade it.
We need to stop this insanity. Yeah, that's why we don't fire off nuclear bombs on U.S. soil anymore. That one's been taken care of, Matthew. They're a little late, but...
And if you live in St. Louis, they just forego the explosions and just spray the nuclear radiation off of the containers on the tops of buildings. Here you go. We'll just spray the shit out of the city, see what happens. Science.
And
coincidentally, I have to throw this in because I was just trying to look up how many people have been harmed. Coincidentally, as you're reading this story, Zach, 14 hours ago, the Senate passed legislation that would compensate Americans exposed by radiation, to radiation by the government. Liberty, blobbity, get the fuck out of here. I'm not even, this is such a fucking show, script written bullshit clown world. My God.
Make it up, Walter. They get to make it up.
They built one of my old high schools on top of like radioactive material. And when they decided that location wasn't good, they just started burying it out in the fucking trash dump, which was fine. Well, you know, reasonably fine until the trash dump caught on fire and it's all underground. These huge underground fires are, well, they're not like on top of the nuclear waste yet. But there's a good chance it's going to be. It's one of the reasons Dixie's old job moved offices, I think. Fell into the fear porn and said, oh shit, we better move just in case. We'll be in the fallout zone. Because those underground fires are real close to that underground nuclear waste.
Well, yeah, we have all these
Okay, so this is a map showing America's radiation fallout areas at a glance.
Oh,
everything is over in the west. Well, no, there's some central shit, I guess, but sort of central.
It's all west.
I don't know. It just seems very like.
And is that
why's all the radiation out there?
Yeah.
Uranium worker states are the yellow ones. So all this are uranium workers, the yellow states that are full. Yeah, let me open this image in another. It won't let me. Okay, let's go bigger. Yeah, these places that are yellow are the ones that have uranium workers who are eligible for whatever the fuck. The ones who have eligible downwinder areas are the slightly outlined in orange ones, I guess. Yeah. And then, I don't know. This is what I found. This is the bullshit I found. Anyway, I just wanted to share the area because it's very intriguing that that's where all that's at. Nowhere else.
And does it say what kind of radiation?
Well,
I mean, TSA blasts people with radiation. Let me see. This talks about the fucking arms raised 45 to 62, fallout across the U.S., largely spread by prevailing winds and rain. 54,000 claims have been processed. Well, I'm about to throw me a claim in. I mean,
Everybody else getting it. Why not?
Missed out on
I've had
Bitcoin.
so many X-rays. I bet I could get something.
Trinity in New Mexico, Trinity test site neighbors weren't warned or evacuated before the government detonated the first time bomb in 1945. The light was so bright it could be seen 100 miles away. Nearly 500,000 people within that blast area. What witnesses said ash rained down for days. Years of cancer, early deaths, infant mortality in that area.
Hulk be part of class action.
We're excluding gamma radiation from the bill.
Damn it! Don't tell me.
Oh, that makes me mad. Hulk smash.
So, Hotel California trial abruptly ends after prosecutors drop case over handwritten Eagles lyrics.
So, I think I heard
not
this.
read any of this bullshit. Sorry, go ahead.
It was thrown out because apparently Don Henley withheld 6,000 pages of evidence from the prosecutors. Or from the other side. I don't know which side he was on. I was just, again, happened to hear this in passing, I think. And it just made me laugh. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot this, and this, and this, and this, and this for 6,000 pages of evidence.
5,000 other ones as well, yeah.
Because I guess they
Man, it's so disappointing.
Go ahead.
It's so disappointing that one of my favorite artists of the 80s, like his End of Innocence CD was one of the very first physical CDs I ever bought. And it's an amazing album itself. And so he was a massive, I was a massive fan of Don Henley, but he is a dick.
Yeah, I guess they'd put on some witnesses up on the stand and they just lied their fucking asses off. And then once they found these 6,000 pages, it shows how bad they perjured themselves and shit like that. It was been a whole fuster-cluck from the way I understand it.
Hey, I'm sorry to jump in like this. If you don't have a song, I heard one last night that made me cry. So I want to share it if you guys don't have one lined up.
We do. We have Kings and Queens.
All right, well, I'll try to remember either tonight or... No, you don't play music tonight, do you?
We do not. We shouldn't be playing music this morning for what it's worth.
I was just about to unmute to say, well, we're really not supposed to be doing it now because we're not.
Yeah, really I know. I was surprised that you guys did a couple of songs. I was like, man,
it's habit at this point. But...
All right, so I'll try to remember for Monday. It was a really good song.
Cool.
And we are right up on it there with that third and final.
I see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I got nothing.
I'll bring it up.
You
later.
Do it.
I was going to say, I see where, damn it. Where is it? Scroll. Was it Winnie? Gosh, man. Oh, yeah. Winston, never meet your heroes or your favorite musicians. I don't know. Maybe. I've met a few. And I will say that meeting Chris DeGarma from Queensrÿche and spending 40 minutes talking about lucid dreaming with him let me know that there are actual people who are who they seem to be through their music and their lyrics and their stuff. That being said, he made one more album with the band after that and then quit to become an airline pilot. So that truth and that honesty couldn't be either maintained or he couldn't deal with it or whatever. He left. Recently, he did some music with his daughter who's trying to get into the industry, but that's about it. He left right after that. So I met him. I met the whole band. The whole band was great, but he was amazing.
Yeah,
a few years later, I met Maynard James Keenan, and I was so excited that I met Maynard because, again, at that time, his lyrics, his music, everything he was talking about seemed to be something that was important to me, and it was. But then his true colors began to be shown quite apparently in very many ways. And I quickly was like, yeah, I'm at a dick. And then there's others. Like I said, it just depends on the person. Like I dream of meeting Mark Tremonti because of who he is and who I've come to know him as, watching him do interviews, watching him stop at the end of a song he just played and take a guitar off of around his neck and hand it down to a 7-year-old dude in the audience. You know, that kind of shit. And he does that every show. So he has this whole thing he's done for the Down syndrome, which I get his daughter has it, but he's taking it far beyond and above. So there are people who I think do.
On who your hero is, really.
Depends on who that is you're looking to meet, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, one of my heroes was Bob. No joke.
He's coming back around again, I saw. Like, when
no, I'm talking about Bob Knodel.
Oh, I thought you meant Bob Dylan.
No. Bob Knodel, you know, for years, Bob was one of my heroes.
I wanted to meet Bob. Hell yeah.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
And not only did I get to meet the guy, but he asked me to come and live with him and his family.
We're more than blessed with that, without a doubt.
Yeah. So meeting your heroes isn't always a bad thing. It can be a blessing, like a world-changing blessing. But yeah, don't put all your heroes in that category.
Sorry, there's a horrible delay trying to play it through my phone. We are coming up on the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks right now. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Taking lives tonight.
welcome back to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks. I'm just potting everything down just to be safe. I'm not sure where that was playing from. I forgot.
So I doubt that I'm correct, and forgive me because I'm going to make a statement that's probably going to piss Walt off if I'm, whatever. But I don't know who that artist was, so just hold on for a second. But throughout the song, it sounded like, a metal song, but the vocalist reminded me of Steven Tyler.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll see that.
Yeah. Right at the very end, he hit a note, and I'm like, that's a total Steven Tyler register right there. But so who was that?
There's a little band called Aerosmith.
Shut up! That was Aerosmith. That's so funny. No, I could take that in stride because I was like, I've never heard this song before. It sounds heavier than I've heard Aerosmith. But you know what? Dream On. Because I knew when I first was introduced to Aerosmith, it was through Run DMC on MTV, right? That was my introduction to Steven Tyler.
Really? How old are you, Todd?
No. Listen. The first time I remember understanding and recognizing them as an artist, as a group, right?
I'm the same, Trav. I listened to right there with. I didn't care until I saw him with Run DMC.
I'm sorry?
I didn't even care.
I get that, Josh, but I thought Travis was a little older than you and
Hey, listen, I am an old
No
man.
offense, I just...
Can you guys not hear me talking right now? I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm not trying to overtalk you. I'm just trying to understand.
Okay, so here it is. I'm just saying that when I was a kid, I knew Dream On. Okay, I knew that song. I loved that song as a kid. I still do. But it doesn't sound like Steven Tyler. Just like, in my opinion, the song, there's a song that Bruce Springsteen...
No, didn't Aerosmith have two singers back then, though? Wasn't the guy from Live, the band Live, wasn't he a part of Aerosmith back in the day?
No.
Yeah, see, look at Walt getting triggered. Anyway, I just thought it was so funny because... Oh man, that's so funny. That is so funny.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm listening to that song. I really loved that song, but I was like, I've never heard this, but it sounds like it could be Aerosmith. But the music itself didn't hit me like an Aerosmith song, so that's why I couched what I said.
I guess I was so exposed to music differently than the radio. Like, I was exposed to it through hanging out at my cousin's house where they had albums. And so you would listen to the song that was awesome that you knew from the radio, but then there would be a song right after it that was awesome, or maybe one, two more after it, or sometimes the whole side, and sometimes the whole album. Most of the time back then, the whole album. And so I always deep dove with people I liked from that experience. Like if I heard Dream On, which it wouldn't have been that for me. Actually, for me, it was Walk This Way. And I loved that riff because I wanted to play guitar. And I like that groovy riff from Walk This Way, the original version, not the Run DMC version. And so I went and bought Toys in the Attic because it had that song on it. And from that song, I learned that the song Toys in the Attic is fucking metal as fuck. It's not, but it is. Everything on Toys in the Attic is a fucking banger song. So I was always that kind of artist appreciator. I dug deep. I knew the album cuts, and I always got into them when I liked them. It wasn't just radio peripheral music for me. If I liked it, I dug, you know what I mean? Deep.
Yeah, it's so funny for me. Like, I wish I could go back and buy albums and go to concerts because I would completely have a different life. But
right. I remember, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'd make a comment about buying my first album. Like I wasn't a big audiophile that way, but I went out on, like, one of my first albums that I bought that was an actual record was The Outfield Play Deep, which is an amazing album.
Great album. Fucking phenomenal.
I know, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like that,
Deep cuts all on it. Absolutely.
I remember riding my bike to the store and buying that album as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, I saved up my money. Like, that was... Anyway, so I was selective in terms of, which albums I bought. One of the first other albums I bought was the Alan Parsons Project, Eye in the Sky.
Eye in the Sky, absolutely phenomenal album. That actually got me into a really deep dive on Alan Parsons and his other things he had done, albums he produced. I found out, and stuff. Yeah, I love that. That album got me deep too. It was my first one. For them, first one from them. The one right before it too, I bought, Wouldn't Want to Be Like You, and damn it, what was the name of the album? Anyway, yeah, great album. Was that it? Was that the name of it? That might be it. Yeah, it was the same era.
I think so.
Yeah. There's another Aerosmith song. Oh, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, just like ELO did Xanadu, Alan Parsons did the soundtrack for Lady Hawk.
Yes.
Which was a pretty good soundtrack.
And a good damn movie. I enjoyed that movie immensely.
Oh, that's an amazing, it's a classic. That is an absolute 80s cult classic. So many.
It should be up there like with all the 80s movies that everybody like Princess Bride and all that shit, man. It should be up there. A lot of people don't know it. They missed it.
We were actually rented a movie last night. It's a movie about baseball, children playing baseball that, in my opinion, is a cult classic. When you hear children playing
Bad
baseball,
News Bears or Bad News Bears?
Sandlot.
There you go. Yeah.
But I'm older than you fuckers.
Yeah. Cami saw that.
I was going to say that.
I still see Walter Matthau. You say kids playing baseball, I picture Walter Matthau.
Yeah, Walter Matthau. Yeah, that's me too, Josh. That's the kids playing baseball movie. And even the second one, Breaking Training. I loved fucking Breaking Training. That's when we got introduced to the real. Anyway, go ahead.
I always see Squints going forever.
Yeah, I love that movie. I love Sandlot, but it was, I was a lot older. It was more a movie I watched in appreciation of it with my kids that I fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm an old fucker. There's a shirt I saw last night. I will be getting it as soon as I get around to it. It said, "Yeah, I may be old as fuck, but I saw all the best bands." And that's the perfect shirt for me. Yes, sir. But yeah, definitely the Bad News Bears. That movie held a lot of. It was one of those first movies, or especially Breaking Training. Like Bad News Bears, I saw, and kind of some of it. I was young enough to where some of it was kind of still going over my head, But when Breaking Training came out, it wasn't. There was nothing going over my head, and it was just blatant in that movie. That movie couldn't be made. None of those movies could be made today.
I remember being a kid and seeing the Bad News Bears on TV, but I never watched it as a whole. Like you're flooding my memory as a child, like Benji, right? And Escape to Witch Mountain, and all of these classic TV movies that I remember. The Bad News Bears was one of them. Did you guys ever watch those Doberman Pinscher heist movies?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. Fuck.
I can't remember the name of it, but I'm just.
I know I can't either, but I do remember.
Didn't Hudson Hawk have a scene where he got chased by a pair of Dobermans or something?
That's a great movie.
Hudson Hawk is an amazing movie, first of all.
No, I think we're right back to.
I don't remember those.
Walter, what's the one? The guy at the Statue of Liberty.
Remo Williams.
Remo Williams. The Adventures of Remo Williams. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's the one. Didn't he get chased by a pair of really smart Dobermans? I think that's the one.
Yeah. Like it.
His
was
first
it the Amazing
mission.
Dobermans? Is that right? Or was it the Doberman Gang? I know it's one of those. Because I'm looking at the cover for both, and they're both ringing a bell. It must have been. I must have saw them both back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm old as fuck. 8 days older than dirt. And I didn't even have a birthday today.
If you'd like to swing on a star. That song always pops in my head when I think
my God, I can't even stand it. That movie was so freaking amazing. The cast was amazing. Every concept in that movie is just pure comedic genius. I love that movie. And Danny Aiello is just the king. I love it at the end, right? He goes over the cliff and he comes walking up and they're like, "He didn't die?" And he's like, "Airbags, can you fucking believe it?"
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. That's one I didn't see till I was older either. That was one of those that I missed when I was younger. I was like too young to watch it when it came out. But then I saw it when I was a little bit older, and I was like, how did I miss this movie when it came out? Yeah, Hudson Hawk. About a thief, like a cat burglar.
Yeah, but don't forget the alchemical part of, Da Vinci turning lead into gold. That's the whole premise of it.
Yeah, and hiding that once he figured it out. Yeah, good movie. Cool flick.
So I'm going to drop this song for you, Travis. It is a Aerosmith cover song by the band Testament. And when I heard this, I'm like, there's no way this is an Aerosmith song. So I went and heard the original, and it's fucking rocking as well. But this was the version I heard first. I'm going to give it to you here. We might play it like Friday. On Monday or something. We'll have a covers day. Everybody drop some good covers in. But yeah, when you were talking about how heavy that song sounded, it's like, wait, here you go.
Yeah, because like I said, I really enjoyed it. And to me, I never listened to Iron Maiden. I never listened to any of those bands because I was, a young 10-year-old, 12-year-old. And so for me, that demonic stuff that was on the cover, the album art, right? Eddie, to me, it didn't appeal to me. So I never listened to that.
That's what made it for me. I was drawing that shit every fucking period during math instead of learning it. I was drawing Eddie.
I was not. I was not that metalhead kind of a genre kid, scribbling on his notebook and whatever. What I did was, if you remember putting paper bags on your books at school, I was writing movie quotes. I was writing movie quotes on all of my books.
I had movie quotes too. Don't you worry.
Who do you guys got lined up tonight?
Yep.
Joe Biden.
All right, it's going to be me. I've got
Matt Damon.
Good. I was hoping you'd get into this, Trev.
Get into what?
Your news.
Oh, well, I'm not going to do it right now, or should I?
No, I want to wait till tonight.
Yeah. So I'll do it tonight.
Fucking A. Yes, we have some stuff planned now. Awesome. Thank you.
If you guys want a heads up on it, you can check out my live streams from last night. And because I spilled the beans on that, but I'll do it again tonight because I need to keep talking myself into this because my dark passenger this morning when I woke up was like, you didn't really say those things last night, did you? You're not really going to do this, are you?
Interesting.
Big shout out to Jeremy, the I Want to Know More channel. Says, you fargan ice hole. Johnny Dangerously reference.
Right? Oh my God.
Well, that's how you catch a polar bear, don't you know?
Oh wow.
You gotta go.
That's a take
oh man,
back.
that's another classic. I remember going to the
That's a
movie
take
theater
back.
watching that movie.
Yep.
When they're peeling all the stuff off the car, changing the color.
I love that Joe. Joe, what was Joe's last name? Joe P. Joe, what was his last name? From Saturday Night Live. Piscopo. Joe Piscopo. His character.
Piscopo.
He's like, you shouldn't have hung me on a hook. My sister hung me on a hook once.
Yeah.
Right. Dude, Joe Piscopo put out a comedy album in the 80s, like around the same time Eddie Murphy's was out. Of course, Murphy overshadowed everything happening in comedy in the world at that moment. So Joe Piscopo's album kind of went in the, cutout bins. But I had the cassette of it. And dude, it was like so good. He did all these song parodies and he did these. Yeah, it was really an enjoyable album. A lot of people totally missed it on the Joe Piscopo boat.
I remember as a kid having a hard time differentiating who the real David Letterman was. I think
fucking A.
Piscopo did such a badass of so many imitations he could do. It was amazing. But his David Letterman just used to fuck me up. I wasn't even a fan of either. I saw it and was like, oh, that's not David Letterman? I see David Letterman. I'm like, oh, that's that guy that's not David. Wait a minute, that is David Letterman? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Here, I've got 12 seconds.
Whenever there's trouble, whenever the double,
Anybody ever watch the Bloodhound
You know,
game?
I think this is an interesting amount of trivia, and I could be wrong, but if I'm not, then I know the other one. I believe that Johnny Dangerously was the very first PG-13 movie, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, then I believe the very first PG-13 movie, which is another amazing movie, is Dreamscape with Dennis Quaid. It's one of those two.
You ready?
That movie gave me nightmares.
You ready? You ready? Everybody ready? I'm going to say this first. Wolverines! Yeah, it was Red Dawn. Was the first one. PG-13. That's what I thought, but I wanted to look it up before I yelled out Wolverines and started the next Civil War.
1984. August 10th.
Wait. Are you serious?
Wait. Yeah.
That's what it says. That's what Google told me.
That's what Google says, and I
Wait, hold
believe
on.
it.
When did Johnny Dangerously come out? 84. And then that's when Dreamscape came out, 84. So maybe 84 was the first year.
That was just a year of those movies, yeah.
Yeah.
That might be the first PG-13 you saw, so that was the one you thought was first. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I get it. Yeah, 84, and then, 84. Yep, across the board. I was just checking something else, too, and saw that. But yeah, Piscopo. You're going to make me go back and find some Piscopo. I wonder if there's any on YouTube. It's probably not even on YouTube, is how unknown that album was. What? Jeremy knows. What's up, Jeremy? My brother from another mother. That album was great. Hey, Norton!
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard Piscopo's comedy. Winston says our movie was Animal House. Mine was Terminator. I saw my first pair of boobs.
When Piscopo and Eddie Murphy did Stevie Wonder and Frank Sinatra's Ebony and Ivory, that shit was so good. You are blind as a bat and I have sight.
We're slowly coming up to the end here.
We are indeed.
Rather rapidly. Did you catch that?
Mm-mm.
We're slowly coming up to the end quite rapidly.
Slowly, quite rapidly. That's how the military does things.
Run to stand and wait.
That's right. Hurry up. Gotta hurry up and wait.
But yeah, folks, come and hang out with us this evening. See what Travis has to fill us in on.
Sorry, I was talking to my passenger. What did you say?
I was just telling everybody to come hang out this evening. See what Travis has to share with all of us.
Yeah. I'll lay it all on the line. In the fashion of triumph.
Oh, snap. $6.55.
So we are drawing to a close. I got 6:56. Doing way back there in the past.
56. Yep. You better catch up, Zack.
Stupid Eastern time.
Them darn Central Time people that messing everything up. We gotta have a war. Yeah, it was really weird in central Indiana there because it split the state in half. And I was like right on the line. Like I was in one county and the next county over was a different time zone. And people used to complain all the time I have to be here at 6 in the morning, my time. Like, yeah, but you get out at 6 in the evening, your time, where I don't get out till 7 o'clock at night, my time. I was like, what's your point? We're here the same amount of time.
Well, yeah, but if I work an hour later and then leave an hour later, then I save time.
So apparently there's an event on a plane drop of an event happening in the UK, a once in a 250-year weather event about to hit with cold weather, and yeah. So didn't that happen back when Adam was hanging out, and that happened then? Him and John talked about that. They were talking about that event that happened back in the what event was it? That big winter event. I guess that one 250 years ago, but it was supposed to happen again back in like 2017, 18, something like that. I thought that was the one. This is the one. Which one is it? Oh, these fear factory fuckers.
I thought we weren't going to have snow anymore. What's going on?
In the UK. This is in the UK. In the UK.
Yeah, didn't they say like in 2012 that if we don't stop using cars tomorrow, that it's no longer going to snow in the UK?
Oh, I thought it was going to make it snow more. Is how global warming. What's the correct enunciation of it? Global
climate change.
I thought that's it. I thought that's what it was. It was going to snow more, not less. I'm so confused. I don't understand it. I thought we were going to melt the ice caps, but it was going to get colder, and we were having an ice age, and all that logical shit.
Dude invented the internet. What do you
it's 58. Yeah, that's right. He invented the internet. Well, he should know.
He does, because his sun is about a billion miles. A billion miles away.
Oh, by the way, go over to I Want to Know More channel and check out his video about the eclipse if you haven't. I did have it and was going to share it, and then I forgot, and I see him mentioning it again. Maybe we'll share it tonight on the show. How about that?
Go. Exactly, Anna. The climate changes every day.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Travis, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love y'all.
Love you guys.
Happy B-Day, brother.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go shoot a gun off. Put it on my hip and walk around town.
Put it on your hip first, right?
Nah. Got to run a few rounds through, then put it on your hip. Go around smelling like spent powder.
Yeah.
Watch all the women just come running. You'll have to beat them off with a stick. Or hell, you got your 9 on you, you have to pistol whip them all.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. We'll see you back here this evening for Have No Sphere. Unless you are otherwise occupied, in which case we will find you back here next week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, look, I'm going to just interrupt myself. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week. I don't know. We'll be here on YouTube's. I don't know about Free World. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to call Billy Ray this weekend. I'm going to find out what's up.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to text him and just see, hey, the hell. All right, love you guys. Have a good weekend. We love you.
Thank y'all, truly.
Be good, be well.